Welcome to my starting guide for Dark Souls 3. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get this really good katana, what class to start with, and where to get a raw gem to boost this Uchigatana to even higher damages very early in the game. This Uchigatana carried me through probably about the first third of the game in my other playthrough, and I highly recommend this for a starting build if you're familiar with the Dark Souls mechanics. If you're not familiar with the mechanics, then you may want to go with a more traditional sword and shield build, but if you like rolling away out of attacks instead of blocking attacks and tanking stuff, then I would highly recommend this build to start the game. So let's get started. So when you start a new character, if you want to use that Uchigatana early, you're going to need a class that has very high dexterity, which is going to be this mercenary class. The mercenary doesn't have enough strength to one-hand the Uchigatana, but you can two-hand the Uchigatana as soon as you get the weapon with the mercenary class. For the burial gift, I haven't figured out which one I really like the best. The Sovereignless Soul is a pretty good choice. It gives you, I believe, 2,000 extra souls right away, which is going to help you get another very key item even faster early in the game. So for the sake of brevity, I'm going to sprint past all the enemies and only pick up absolutely essential items. So there's only going to be 2 enemies that you need to kill with this dual sword starting mercenary build. Let's get this very key item right here, the Ashen Estus Flask. So the way this game works is Estus Flasks heal your overall health, and the Ashen Estus Flask heals FP, which is the blue bar. There are no more spells and special abilities with weapons both use that blue bar. There's no like fireballs. You used to be able to get like 10 casts every time you went to a bonfire, and then you could use some items to regenerate how many casts you got. But that's no longer the case in Dark Souls 3. And you can also, once we get to Firelink Shrine, choose how many, right now we have 4 total Estus Flasks, and we can choose to have them all be 4 Ashen or 4 normal Estus. And then as you get more Estus Flask shards, as you get further and further into the game, I think there's 15 total actually, then you can have all 15 be healing or all 15 be Ashen. So anyway, this is the first boss of the game. This is the only guy, there's 2 enemies we're gonna have to kill with these twin daggers, twin blades. So I'm killing as quickly as I possibly can. Now I'm playing version 1.0 right now, so if it looks like I'm killing this guy very quickly, it's because I'm playing the unpatched version. It's a long story that I really don't want to get into right now about the difference between version 1.1 and version 1.0 and why I've spent nearly $200 American dollars on the Japanese store to get this game early twice. Alright, so after you get him to about a third health left, he's going to do this weird transformation and go to this almost Resident Evil looking alien thing. Just keep chopping away at him, and he's dead. Gundyr, first boss of the game, is dead. And unfortunately, you're not going to get a boss soul from him. You're going to get this coiled sword, which is going to let you use the first bonfire, or create the Firelink Shrine bonfire in just a minute. So rest there to activate it and get your Estus back. Now we're going to sprint to the Firelink Shrine and then shortly after that, get the Uchigatana. As for the first points you're going to spend, souls, for the first levels you want to don't spend any souls initially on leveling up. You're going to want to save the first 20,000 souls you can to buy a very important item, a very important key from a merchant here in Firelink Shrine that is going to get you a covetous silver serpent ring and an Estus Flask shard and a couple other items that are very nice to have. So this is the new Firekeeper. She's going to be your level up lady, the Emerald Herald, you may say, except she's not wearing green. So now we created our own bonfire here in Firelink. And just for future reference, and I'm going to show where all those great items are that you can get with this key here, this merchant. And this tower key for 20,000 souls, that is the first item you want to spend souls on in the game. And I will show that in a future video. So, but for the moment, let's focus on how to get that Uchigatana. You run past her and up these stairs to the left. This Firelink Shrine is kind of confusing. The layout is circular, and there's multiple levels and tiers to everything in there, and a couple entrances and exits. And as you can see, one of the ways that they've improved loading times in this game, like over Bloodborne or the previous Dark Souls games, for example, is that when you teleport, or if you die, actually, which is what just happened, the doors are grayed out. Those aren't actually fog doors leading to a boss. That's just a loading screen, basically preventing you from leaving. So hang a right after you leave and go back out of the entrance that you came through just a minute ago, or if you're facing that front door, that front entrance, go to the left and make your way around the outside of the Firelink Shrine. And then up at the top of these stairs here, you can see my blood stain from where this bitch killed me before. And this is a surprisingly difficult enemy encounter for early in the game. She's got a ton of health and she does a ton of damage. And I would be very, very careful. She's also very good at parrying your attacks. So I haven't figured out a way to like get her to jump off the map or anything like that, but I would really, really love to be able to figure out a way to do that. Maybe I can knock her off now. I knocked her off. Okay. I just got 2,000 souls for killing her. And I believe that when I go back to the Firelink Shrine and come back, that the katana is going to be there just waiting for me. Firelink. Whew, I got very lucky there. There's a lot of cliffs there, and if you can get her back up against the cliffs and just keep chopping away at her, she'll just keep knocking right back. She doesn't really have a lot of poise. So there's the Uchigatana. So I'm going to equip that now. I'm going to unequip the wooden shield and the sellsword twin blades and equip the Uchigatana. Now, if you're not familiar with Dark Souls, it's got that X there, which means I can't use it. It's not true. You can't one-hand it. It requires 11 strength to one-hand this Uchigatana, unless wielded with both hands. So when I have this weapon equipped, you can see I've only got one hand on it right now. If you press Y or triangle or whatever the PC equivalent is, now I have two hands on it and I can use it effectively, and that red X is not there. And this weapon is going to do a ton of damage. It's also very fun to use. It also has a lot of bleed damage on it, which is very nice for bosses and stuff like that, and other very strong enemies that do not have armor on them. So now I'm going to show you how to get, well actually, part of the starting guide as well is going to be explaining how these Ashen Estus flasks work, or rather where to redistribute them. Early on in the game, unless you're playing a caster, which this build is not about at all, you're going to want to have all regular Estus flasks and no ashen ones. So if you go to Andre here, you can allot uses and have all healing and no ashen, which is what I've been using my entire first playthrough, just because, well, with this dexterity starting build, it's really the best way to go. So now I'm going to show you where to find the raw gem and the first couple bonfires to boost the damage on this Uchigatana even farther. So now we've teleported here to not a bonfire, just like another random magical area. Push your way through these doors and we're going to find the first bonfire. And now I'm going to show you where the next couple bonfires are and exactly where to go, or how to find the next bonfire and how to just sprint there and skip all the enemies along the way. So from the high wall of Lothric bonfire, we are going to make our way to the next bonfire, and then after that we're going to get the raw gem to boost the damage even further on this amazing katana. So these stairs right here, the ones immediately next to this bonfire, are the ones that you want to go to. There's another set of stairs up top that eventually leads to, or that don't really have any purpose right now, but will be how you use a shortcut later on. I'm going to sprint past all the enemies that I can right now. Oh my god. What just happened? Wow, I have the worst luck right now. I have been dying over and over and over from just the most random, like getting blocked and enemies chasing me and alright, anyway. So if you make your way up those stairs on the left, you're going to aggro a very large fire-breathing dragon that will kill a lot of these enemies for you, which maybe I should have taken advantage of. but oh well. I'm gonna sprint past them regardless. Make your way up these stairs here, and you're gonna see a knight in that door. I'm gonna try to get past him, and I'm gonna do my best to lose him, actually. Because if he chases you, and it's gonna make, well, it's gonna be impossible to get to the next bonfire if he chases you all the way. I think these guys are gonna follow me again. So here's the bonfire up here. Can I touch it? I can't touch it. They're too close. They're fucking chasing me. Just one guy chased me. Whew. Okay, good. So now I can light the bonfire. Okay, good. I got lucky there. I'm gonna rest at this bonfire. And now we are going to get the raw gem. Run back down these stairs where we just came from a second ago. You can ignore that knight. The knights like that are just patrolling will not aggro if you are just walking. If you're sprinting, you'll catch their attention. Otherwise, they'll get all pissy. Make your way down the stairs, out this door here. You can just roll off that ladder there. Run past that guy. This guy right there is going to turn into like a giant beast, unless you swipe him right away, that we saw from that first boss fight. And over here around the corner is the first Titanite bug. Kill him quickly, and you got a raw gem. Huzzah! So now what we're going to do... Oh, I don't have a homeward bone. That's unfortunate. Well, let's go back to Firelink Shrine. I thought I would have a homeward bone. Huzzah! So now we're back at Firelink Shrine, and Andre, returning from Dark Souls 1, Andre the Blacksmith, is going to infuse this awesome katana we have with that raw gem that I just found. Now, because I've not been caring about how many souls I have, I'm just going to use that one. Let's talk to him. Go down to Infuse Weapon. Choose the Uchigatana. So if you look on the bottom, it removes strength and dexterity scaling from, like, under the attribute bonus on the bottom. It changes the strength scaling from E to none and the dexterity scaling from D to none, which is fine because this is early game and you have very little strength and dexterity as it is. But look at the attack power that it boosts from 115 and then plus 46 to 149 and plus 59. So that is a huge boost in damage for that weapon early on. And like I said before, this two-handed Uchigatana took me through about the first third of the game. It's an amazing weapon. You can use it too. Eventually, you'll be getting Titanite shards and stuff like that you can use to reinforce the Uchigatana to boost its damage even further. And it's just an amazing weapon for early in the game. And this is my, I guess this is the end of my starting build video and intro to Dark Souls 3. In the next video, I'm going to show you where all the items you can get with the tower key are, and there's a lot of good ones, so be sure to check out that video. Save your souls for that 20,000 soul tower key. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe for more Dark Souls 3 updates. I've been playing this game non-stop. I'm loving the hell out of it. And give the video a like if it helped you out. And if you have any tips for how to maybe make this build a little bit better early on, or other starting builds or something like that, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing other people's strategies. Thanks for watching, and game on.